Hey, what's going on, guys? John Fibonacci here, and today we got a book review on John C. Maxwell's The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication. Apply them and make the most of your message. So I'm really excited. This book actually came out very recently. Here it is on Amazon. It came out on March 28th, 2023. Now, at the time of this review, today is Monday, April 3rd, so just under a week this book was released, and I've already read it and I want to do a review on it. So we can take a look inside. So here are the contents. It's broken down obviously into the 16 laws, but it's broken down even further by who says it, what is said, how it is said, when it is said, and why it is said. So you get a little bit more of a breakdown: who, what, how, when, and why. So what is the book about? Well, just as the title explains, it's about the undeniable laws of communication. So on the back cover of the book, which isn't on Amazon, on the back cover, there's some text, and then it says, learn how to speak from conviction, prepare your content and yourself for speaking, find and use your personal and communication strengths, focus on your audience and connect, tell better stories, read the room and create energy and anticipation, add value to people, and inspire people to take action. Okay, so here's what I like about the book. So with just under 300 pages of content, the 16 laws to help you deliver a better message, he has tons of great references and quotes, very in-depth content with practical ideas that anyone can use. So I'm the type of person, I'm very similar to John. I like lists, I like numbers, I like data to a certain extent, and a lot of his writing is that way. I actually have a ton of books by John Maxwell. I think this is probably like number 20 or 25 that I have personally from Mr. Maxwell. So a lot of his books are structured the same. This is, as I mentioned, just under 300 pages. So it's a relatively thicker book than a lot of them. I have a ton of the small ones, but this one is not a small one. So it is very in-depth. So I really enjoy how he shows you how and gives you real world examples of how the info has served him in the past. Mr. Maxwell is also not afraid to show where he has failed before and how he actually got better. So he proves his points not only by connecting with you and, you know, by showing strengths and weaknesses, but he lives these messages, which is also very interesting because the first law is the law of credibility. So Mr. Maxwell is a very credible person with all the books that he's sold and how long that he's been teaching and preaching for. In other words, he practices what he preaches. So that's what I love about the book. Also, the short stories into his life and organizations, he's abundantly clear that he is not a one-man band, that he gives a lot of credit to his team members and people that he has worked with. So in the back of the book, in the back of the book, under the citations, there's 171 references. So you get quotes from people like Mark Twain, Simon Sinek, Benjamin Franklin, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, and a ton of others that you're most likely will recognize. Some you might not, but a lot of them you will. So 171 references to a lot of things. It is definitely very well structured and very well put together and well referenced. What I don't like about the book. So there's actually not a lot that I don't like. If anything, I really like the whole book. But if I had to say what I didn't like, because it wouldn't be a complete review if there wasn't pros and cons, the only con that I would say about this book is that some of the chapters are more in-depth than others. So I took a lot of notes. So some people might think, you know, that if I read this book kind of fast, that maybe I didn't soak a lot of the information in, but I have literally pages and pages and pages of notes. Okay. Quotes and just main bullet points and all that. And you're not going to get this, but these are from my notes. But I took a lot of notes. And so the only thing I would say is that one page, I think I have like three laws, and some every once in a while I'll get a law and that'll run like 3 or 4 pages. So there's a little bit of a depth difference that I found personally, where again, some notes are very short on 1 or 2 laws, and other laws have a lot more notes. So, again, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's what it is. Some laws are going to be more in depth than others, and that's totally fine. As a matter of fact, John actually admits that within the book as well. And what's really cool, we'll kind of come back to what I like for just a minute. He actually says which law is the most important when you get there. So there is that. Who I think this book is for. So, in my opinion, I am someone who educates. I'm a streamer, a teacher, mentor. And so this book is really good for me, someone who needs to communicate a message to the world and to communicate better, to connect with people better. This is, for people like me. So I would say teachers, educators, professors, streamers, someone who's a manager, someone who gives presentations, someone who talks to a lot of people at one time, which is a broad spectrum of people. So yeah, overall, if you're a communicator, this one is definitely for you. I think the biggest takeaway that I got from this book is that even though communication is in the title, 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication, the core message is really not about communicating. It's about connecting. So understanding that if you're a teacher, speaker, presenter, that it's not about you. It's about the audience. It's about who's listening to you, and to really connect with them on multiple levels. So again, the speaker is not the main event. It's the people. So that's the core message that is repeated throughout the book, and the points are made around that. And that's a really huge takeaway, and that can really make or break someone's communication career. All right, so my overall opinion on the book, I think it's great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I read it pretty quickly, so it wasn't like a drag. That was very, it was easily readable. I enjoyed it. I got a lot of notes out of it. I got a lot of insight and quotes, to live by, which, is pretty normal for a John Maxwell book for me personally. Okay. So I think it is a top 5 from Mr. John Maxwell out of the books that I have. It's not top 3, but it is a top 5. So it's really good. And I would also say it is somewhat similar to Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. So it's kind of like a play on that a little bit. They go hand in hand. There's a lot of similarities between those two, and I think both of them are great. So overall, I think it's a purchase. I would recommend this to anyone who is a communicator. And if you want to support the channel at no additional cost to you, you can hit the link in the description. That'll take you directly to Amazon, where you can purchase a copy for yourself. So overall, I enjoyed it. I hope you will enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.